girls get to be a lot more selective.
Yeah, sexual selection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Oh,
in
sure.
dating. Girls get to pick. That's how it works.
That's how it works. And what was I going to say? Typically, guys care more about how girls look than girls care about how guys look. Mm-hmm. And so we're easy to please that way. But when it comes to girls, most often, guys are invisible to girls because a small percentage of us are attractive in their opinion. Like, there's numbers out there and stuff.
Yeah.
But in a room with like 10 girls and 10 guys, a guy is going to know which girls are attractive pretty darn quick. This is like in a casual setting when they're not engaging with each other, like in a coffee shop or something. Mm-hmm. Girls, like none of those guys are going to be like invisible, not even exist in her mind because they're not even registered as attractive at all.
At least on initial.
This is a generalization, of course.
Yeah. That's
like
the initial.
A guy might think like half the girls in the room are attractive,
yeah.
percentage wise. I mean, more. I'm restating it, but guys are invisible most of the time
until they're not.
Until as far as just physical stuff goes. Mm-hmm. So guys have to rely on other stuff. We have to be funny. We have to be smart. We have to be confident and have other good qualities. And it's really hard, like on Tinder, for example, to even show those qualities if all you're being judged on is what you look like.
Yep.
So you have to be in the top 10% of guys, whatever. And then of those, you have to compete.
Yeah.
That's my little rant about sexual selection.
Yeah. So to clarify, to defend girls a little bit, it's the initial like attractiveness is exactly how you described it, where it's like room of 10 people, 10 girls, 10 guys. The guys will be like 7 of those 10 girls are hot.
Yeah.
And the girls will all be like, and maybe there's one gal, but most girls would be like, one of those guys is hot.
Yeah.
And it's different that way. But then I bet here's what would happen really quickly. Once they start intermingling and talking, the guys would be like, oh, 3 of those girls, including one that I didn't think was hot, is hot.
Right.
And then the girls would say, oh, that one is not hot. These guys are really nice.
Yeah.
It would all change once they start talking.
That's really interesting.
Because girls, they really are about personality and vibe. And guys are too, but they're also really about looks. But even some girls who look amazing, a guy would talk to them for a couple seconds and be like, no.
They exist for sure, but it's harder to dissuade a guy from your looks with your personality than it is the other way around.
Yeah.
If a guy was attracted to girls talking to him, it's much easier for him to fall out of favor with her by having an ugly personality.
Yeah. What's interesting is I was listening to a cultural psychologist. I think Jordan Peterson talks about this too, but I was listening to a different psychologist and he was talking about cultures and how they do selectual selection.
I like selectual.
Selectual section. Selectual section. That'd be how you'd say it. But how they do sexual selection. And they basically said what's interesting is that the girls get to pick the guys, but they do it based on what on the guys picking the guys first. Like the guys get to set the hierarchy. Mm-hmm. And then from there, the girls just play along. And I thought about that. And it was like, if you think about what that means, it's like the guys will dictate what is valuable, like being in shape or being in a high position or making a lot of money.
Yep.
Like the guys pick the game and the guys will play the game or being good at sports.
There's a word for that. There's several
They
words.
set the hierarchy.
But
then the girls will be like, well, surely they don't think of it this way because it seems a little weird, but they will play along with that sort of, the guys say that he's got a good job and he's a good guy. He must be a good guy. It's not, I'm making it oversimplified.
Right.
So,
and we're going to keep interjecting and going, this generally speaking, we're not saying everybody's like that, but please give us that grace.
Yeah.
There's a word for that. The word is status.
Mm-hmm.
Girls
social
like
status.
Status. And that comes in several forms. For example, that I believe is why girls think married guys are more attractive than single guys.
Yeah.
Because they have been given value or status in like, oh, he's apparently desirable to somebody. He must be desirable.
Yeah.
It's very strange, but that's how I make sense
or
of it.
even dating it. Once a guy's dating, they're more attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you can speak to that. When you were dating, girls were more interested randomly. And it's like, you couldn't have been interested before. I'm obviously not, that's not how I thought of it, but
did that happen for you when you were dating?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, that probably happened for you too.
Yep.
Yep.
It's really weird.
It is weird.
It's like, hey, I'm single now. Where'd they go?
Yeah. Yeah. I wish you should get that as a sound effect. That
Yeah, that's a good one. I should write that down. I could also get Hagrid on Harry Potter. Poof. I'll write that down
when he's drunk.
Yeah.
But it's not Hagrid. It's
They both say it.
Yeah, they both. He goes poof.
And then it goes poof. Poof.
Yeah. And then Harry Potter goes
asleep.
poof.
You're right. He does say it too. I forgot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We just watched that the other day.
Okay.
So, but when we were talking about status, yeah, girls pick on status, and good for them for it because they win when they pick on status most of the time. Guys pick on looks and they lose a lot more because the guys, if they're smart, they'd probably pick status too.
Well,
some guys pick status.
That's going back to what I was saying earlier. Being attracted to is important to me, and I know that sounds shallow, but that's obviously not the only thing I value. But I understand that that's important for a relationship to work. I'm going to go off on another tangent about attractiveness. There's objective attractiveness, and then there's my attracted to level. I think I have two different words for it, but I can't
Subjective
think of it.
attractiveness.
Thank you. That totally makes sense. So let me give an example. There could be 10 girls, and they could be rated objectively by our standards of beauty in books,
1 through
whatever.
10.
1 through 10. She's a 1, whatever, 10, whatever. Just do it with guys too, whatever. It's just an analogy or an example. That 10 may not be a 10 to me because I know what I like. And that's true for every guy. Different guys like different things. Mm-hmm. And guys are easy. And we think most girls are attractive. So girls shouldn't worry as much as maybe guys should. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's objective attractiveness and there's subjective attractiveness. Unfortunately for me, I'm attracted to very few people. Mm-hmm. I'm hard to please that way, kind of. Mm-hmm. So how do I put that? I don't know. You interject right now because I think I may have been going somewhere unless that was the end.
I know that you have pretty high standards as far as looks go. I guess I'm more. This is the way we're different because I don't necessarily like. I typically will chase after what people would call 10s, and sometimes it works, and it's always a little surprising to me. But my attractiveness, it's never been that I haven't been attracted to what some people might think 5s, like as far as the 1 to 10 scale. There's been 4s, 5s, but I've been like, that girl is hot. And it's because of her personality.
Oh, it definitely helps.
Like there's, or her behavior or how she carries herself. Like that seriously underrated quality girls. Like if you like become a good person and like, and like if you become funny and smart and you work on those characteristics and those traits, dudes will think that's hot. Even hot dudes will be like, damn,
I think it's true both ways. It's just it's harder for guys to get past that phase because we get shot down our looks first, and girls are less accepting than guys are. So then more girls have a chance to be seen for who they are. Which whatever, I'm saying it's fair or not. I just think that's how it is.
I think that here's the weird thing about guys like me who are not 10s chasing after 10s. And tell me what you think about this, but like. It has to be the perfect storm of things happening. It's such a weird. It's happened a couple times with me, where I've either dated or gone with a gal briefly who was like super hot, or for longer term. But anyway, but like what I've realized is I had to not only be on my A game from the time we met to I for a long time I have to be like boom, 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 on point, and smart and funny, and I have to smile at the right times and wink at the right times. All these things you have to play it perfectly, and you have to like sense the balance, and that's when it actually could work out, is because they'll help you sense when the balance is. And anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent, but
it's okay. This is all tangents.
But what's interesting, if you mess up at any point with a 10. You're done. Like all of a sudden you're friend zone. You're done. No way. And like even then they might never want to even see you again, kind of thing. Yeah, it's interesting. It's
interesting.
And you have to hit them at the right time too, because like they're 10s. They're gonna be always with a a guy, and then between relationships or whatever. And so you have to like find it like at that sweet spot right in between guys when she's like, I should start looking for a guy, kind of thing. But if you hit that honey hole and you hit it hard, then even if you're like a 7 or a 6 like me, you can yeah.
Honey hole.
You have to find the honey hole, the sweet spot.
Okay, that sounds way better. You're saying honey. You said honey hole. My
honey
face.
hole.
You said honey hole. My face did this. I was like,
Yeah.
that. You know what that sounds like? It sounds like honey pot,
I don't.
which is a euphemism.
Oh.
You got to hit that honey hole. I was like, what?
I think the honey hole is like a sweet spot, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that now I understand how you meant it. But if you said you got to hit that honey pot has one meaning in that context, and I thought that's what you meant by honey hole. And so I was like, anyway.
I'm thinking of Winnie the Pooh now. Oh, bother.
So I have a thought, which is kind of a tangent. Typically, girls date up, guys date down, meaning a 5 guy will typically date a 3 girl, or a 5 girl will date a 7 guy,
Or a 6 guy. Yeah.
right? Up, whatever,
Or equal.
right? But never girls. I shouldn't say never. Typically, never date down. Guys will date down more often than girls will, which I get. But I thought about what happens if you have here's the girl and here's the guy. She's like a 7'5", 8'6", 9'7", 10'8". What about the 10 guy? Or what about the 8, 9, and 10 guy? She gets, I don't know how to explain that, but there's a ceiling on one of them before there's a ceiling on the other.
I think you're talking about largely.
Yeah, obviously, obviously this isn't everybody, but generally and how it typically goes because of data and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
What I was thinking is that I forgot. Go ahead.
I think generally the truth, but like that kind of contradicts what I just said about me dating a 10.
Oh no, it's possible. It's just really hard.
Yeah, it's really hard. That's
I know what I was laughing because I get it. It's possible to date up or like I get a 10. It's just so hard when you have to act like a 10 because you don't have a chance if you're like a 6 or something. Yeah, anyway, I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
But I was
Well, what's funny is guys know that too. And then like, so when you see a 7 like me with a 10, people are like, all the guys are like, how'd it go? Nice job. Like, it's always like, how did you do that?
The good guys are like that. The other half are like,
oh yeah, it's not fair. The hierarchy. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, there's bitter men everywhere. We're close to that, by the way. We shouldn't judge bitter men because we've definitely been bitter before.
I'm way more bitter than you are.
Yeah.
I'm older. It comes with age.
Yes.